Welcome back, everyone. Hello, Virtual Academy, and hello to anyone else who might be doing this. Hope you guys are doing fabulous. I want you to get out your paper. Remember, every time I put down the pen, it means pause so you can write or read or say something or give an answer or draw. Okay, so here, this is what I want you to do. On your paper, I want you to put numbers 1 and number 2. I'm not going to pause. You can do that by yourself. I'm going to ask you to put a line on your paper, a line on your paper. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to write these words, definitions, because today I want you looking at definitions, and I will definitely put the pen down so I can pause and you can write down these words, graze, pastures, graze, pastures, and forage. Graze, pastures, and forage. 3 words. I'm going to put this down. Copy them, please. Okay. And the last part of our paper, before we start reading, I want you to write the word pictures. Pictures. And I'm going to have you draw 3 pictures. I'm going to draw a rectangle here. I'm going to draw a rectangle nice and big. And I'm going to give you 3 here. I'm going to give you 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3. And why don't you could put this on the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. Graze, pastures, and forage. So go ahead and copy all of that. Perfect, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ignore this for a second, and we're going to read. We're going to read. What's the topic today? Horses, 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 horses. We're going to open this up. I'm going to show you a picture here of some horses. Here we have some horses eating hay, which is dried grass. And here we have some horses eating different things and some information. We're going to read these 2 pages. I would like to know if anyone in your group would like to volunteer to read this page out loud. Go ahead, someone volunteer. Great reading, great reading. Now, all of us are going to read this together, including this top here. Start when I say go. Go. Horses' main food is grass, which means they are herbivores. Most horses graze in fenced pastures or meadows. Some forage on open land. Human caregivers often feed horses grain or nutritious man-made pellets served in buckets. Most horses also love to munch hay, dried grass. Excellent. Let's read it again, but this time I want you to read it. Okay, and go. I love reading in different ways. Perfect. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to see some pictures. Here we go. I'm going to read this out loud. You can read with me if you want to out loud and unmute yourself, or if you're in a regular classroom, go ahead and read out loud. Go. Horses love to nibble apples, carrots, peppermint candies, sugar cubes, and even ginger snap cookies. Wow, I didn't know that horses ate all those things. Did you know that? Hmm. Did not know. I'm going to pause. Why don't you tell a friend or your group, have you ever ridden on a horse or seen a horse live? Excellent. I have. It's been a long time, but I've ridden on a horse. Been a while though. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read this, and you could read with your eyes while I read out loud. It's stretched out a horse's digest. If stretched out, a horse's digestive system would be about 100 feet long from beginning to end. Horses cannot throw up. Well, that's interesting that I'm kind of jealous that a horse cannot throw up. I wish people couldn't throw up. I wish I never threw up again. I don't know if you ever wish that, but I know I wish that. Oh my goodness. So here we're going to go here, number one. So I'm going to, and where is my paper? I think I lost it. Oh, yes, it fell. Let me get this paper that fell. Number one and number two, remember here on the top of your paper, you wrote number one and number two. We're going to take we're going to do a multiple choice activity here. What do horses not eat? What do horses not eat? Go ahead. A, grain. B, pellets. C, chicken. D, hay. What do horses not eat? Right, A, B, C, or D right here for number one. What do horses not eat? Okay. Okay, and the next one, remember, if you get it wrong, that's okay. Don't stress out. We're just trying our best. We are trying our best. I am the folded paper queen. Number two, what do horses love to nibble on? Apples, candies, and eggs, candy, sugar, and cookies, cookies, corn, and apples, chocolate, sugar cubes, and cookies. I'm going to read that again. What do horses love to nibble on? A, apples, candies, and eggs. B, candy, sugar, and cookies. C, cookies, corn, and apples. D, chocolate, sugar, cubes, and cookies. So based on the text, you're going to pick one, A, B, C, or D, and you're going to write it right here. Good job, good job. So let's go ahead and see the answer to number one. Yeah, number one was, what do horses not eat? Well, they do eat, let me see, grain. They do eat hay, and they do eat pellets. So what do they not eat? Horses do not eat chicken. So number one, your answer should be C. If you got it wrong, just cross out whatever you wrote and put C and give yourself a little star. Perfect. Number two, what do horses love to nibble on? Horses love to nibble apples, carrots, peppermint candies, sugar cubes, and even ginger snap cookies. So, well, apples, candies, and eggs. Nope, it didn't say eggs. So no, it's not A. I'm going to cross that out. Candy, sugar, and cookies. That sounds right. Cookies, corn, and apples. I didn't read anything here about corn, so I'm going to cross out corn. Chocolate, sugar cubes, and cookies. Nope, didn't read anything about chocolate. So it's candy, sugar, and cookies with peppermint candies, sugar cubes, and cookies. Wow, those horses sure like their sugar. So the correct answer would be B. B. Perfect. So here in the next spot, we're going to do something a little bit different. Definitions. Definitions. So we have three words here. We found the first word, graze, right here. Most horses graze in fenced pastures or meadows. What do you think graze means? Tell a friend. Excellent. I hear different ideas. And then the next word was pastures. Pastures. Great. Most horses graze in fenced pastures. What do you think pastures means? What do you think pastures means? Raise your Zoom hand or real hand. Excellent, excellent. And the last one is forage. Some forage on open land. What do you think that means? Raise your hand and tell a friend or tell your teacher. Okay, so what we're going to do here for the definitions, we already wrote the words. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go on Google and I want you to type in graze definition. And then you're going to get definitions. And sometimes there's a lot of definitions. I want you to pick one and I want you to write it down, usually the one on the top. If it's super long, just write the first couple words. And then I want you to do the same for pastures, and I want you to do the same for forage. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do one on my phone right now as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put graze. I'm writing graze, and then I'm writing definition, graze definition. And it says here, eat grass in a field. That's what graze means. Eat grass, eat grass in a field. So I did that one for you. I want you to go ahead and copy it. Now I want you to look up pastures and forage and write down the definition. Go ahead. Okay, so let's see what you got. I'm going to go ahead and double check on my phone here because I want like the most official type of definition, pasture definition or pasture meaning. Oh, I'm just going to write the first few words. Land covered with grass. Land covered with grass. Your definition should look similar to mine. It doesn't have to look exact, but so it's pasture. So it makes sense here that it says most horses graze. That means they eat grass in a field in fenced pastures or meadows. So they eat the grass, and where's it's land covered with grass. It's land covered with grass. I'm going to do the same thing for forage. Okay, because sometimes we could guess what it means by reading the words around it. Search widely for food, but it's also good to double check. It's also good to double check. Search widely, that means search everywhere. Search widely for food. Search widely for food. So your definition, I'm not putting my pen down because you should have already done this. It might not look exactly the same, but it should look similar. And here in the pictures, I want you to draw an animal grazing. It could be a horse. It could be a horse, or it could be a deer. It could be any type of animal. I want you to draw someone grazing. Here, I want you to draw pastures. So I want you to draw land covered with grass. And here is forage, to search widely for food. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're hungry after school, or maybe you're hungry after church or at night, and you're searching wildly through your cabinets, looking and looking, you're foraging for something to eat. I want you to draw these 3 pictures. Go ahead. Excellent, excellent. And now I want you to go ahead and look at your pictures, and I want you to share your pictures. So go ahead and raise your hand or show a friend if you're sitting next to someone and show them your pictures. Excellent. We're all done. See you next time. Bye.